who is represented in these galleries, who gets to represent America, who makes those decisions about who's represented and who's not, and what are the ways in which to represent whoever is selected.
Why would we ever not include Native art? Why wouldn't Native art always be a part of the American art canon?
What we're trying to work through is answering some of those questions in all kinds of ways in terms of installation, lighting, color, selection of objects, language, sound, to try to really be a model for other collecting institutions who are trying to deal with some of the same major issues about belonging.
If I'm going to see Native art, it's going to be in a Native area, a Native section, or maybe a special exhibit. Maybe they don't even have Native art. MIA and other institutions, they have to be intentional about presenting art because the standard is going to probably exclude, if not erase, Native people. If at best, maybe we're going to get put in some sort of historic past and placed there and kept there.
When I was growing up, museums were actually uncomfortable places where misrepresentation, was and is in many instances really harmful and has those negative impacts on growing minds. I see this exhibition as really something that can benefit all Native communities, and seeing that representation shifted.
Well, when we look at the history of museums and histories of collecting, it goes hand in hand with colonization. Let's collect from Indigenous communities for posterity, because we expect that we are going to have complete genocide of the people that we are collecting from. Museums then, over those collections, are the storyteller of those objects.
So we're thinking about how to include Indigenous voices. We're thinking about how those narratives and those stories can be told by Indigenous people in their own ways and in their own words. And that's something that is crucial to not only the health of our communities, but also the wealth of that knowledge.
One of the things that we've been talking about is including Dakota philosophy, Dakota teachings, Dakota worldviews as a way to frame our understanding of American art. So to gather pieces that consider a topic like my relations, Mitakuye, or this place, Minnesota Makoche, or even Turtle Island, this larger space that we live in, when we frame them with Dakota concepts, even the pieces start taking on new and different meanings because of that connective tissue of that philosophy. And I think it breathes a lot of life into the non-Native artworks as well, in positionality and in conversation with some of the Native art that we're including.
One of the things that I'm most interested in with regard to the 19th century landscapes by white settlers to Minnesota is having folks from communities who are already here and really talk about what's missing from those scenes. None of those landscapes are without a kind of political motivation and an inherent bias. There have been great efforts to talk about them in different ways, and to not talk about that part is erasure.
As a Native person, I feel an obligation to be responsible to my communities. Not that I'm the best voice or the only voice, but you just feel like, or at least I feel like, I just want our folks to have a voice.
We want to be seen in our own lands. These are our lands. And so it's really critically important for us to feel like that MIA and that other museum spaces are recognizing that they exist because of generally the losses to Dakota people, both historically and ongoing.
The Dakota people were exiled from Minnesota, and this collection woefully underserves that community. It's perpetual. This exhibition offers a place where we can kind of examine what the collection is here, but it is not solving any of those colonial problems. It's going to take so much more effort to do the rest of the work.